Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me today. Let me start with a question. If you're living with diabetes or caring for someone who is, have you ever wondered whether it could affect more than just your blood sugar? Here's something many people don't realize. Having diabetes may actually increase your risk of developing colon cancer. Two conditions that seem separate are, in fact, more connected than most of us think. In this video, we're going to explore why that happens, what science tells us about the link, and most importantly, what you can do right now to lower your risk and protect your health. By the end of this video, you'll understand the powerful connection between diabetes and colon cancer and learn how a few simple choices can make a lasting difference for your well-being. Let's get started. 1. Why this topic matters. Colon cancer is one of the most common cancers among older adults in the United States. It affects both men and women, and the risk increases sharply after the age of 60. Every year, tens of thousands of people are diagnosed, many of them long after the disease has quietly developed for years without any obvious symptoms. That silent progression is part of what makes colon cancer so dangerous. At the same time, diabetes has become one of the most widespread chronic conditions in America. Right now, more than 1 in 4 adults over 60 is living with diabetes. For many, managing the disease is already a daily challenge, checking blood sugar, taking medications, watching diet, and trying to stay active. But there's an important connection many people don't realize. When diabetes and colon cancer exist together, they don't just add up, they multiply the risk. Studies show that people with diabetes are significantly more likely to develop colon cancer compared to those without it. This means millions of older adults across the country may be facing a hidden double risk, one that often goes unnoticed until the disease has progressed. That's why this topic matters so much. The good news is that both conditions can be managed and the risk reduced with the right steps. Awareness and education are key. Regular screening, such as colonoscopy or stool-based tests, can catch early changes before they turn into cancer. Good diabetes control through diet, exercise, and medication reduces chronic inflammation and protects the body's cells from damage. So today we're going to take a closer look at what's really happening inside the body. We'll explore how these two conditions are connected, why the risk multiplies, and most importantly, what practical steps you can take to stay healthy, strong, and in control of your well-being. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear understanding of the powerful link between diabetes and colon cancer and the knowledge to take action that can truly make a difference. 2. What happens in colon cancer? Colon cancer begins quietly, deep inside the large intestine, the long, winding part of our digestive system that stores and moves waste out of the body. At first, everything seems perfectly normal. There's no pain, no discomfort, nothing unusual that you can feel, but often the story begins with something very small, a tiny growth on the inner wall of the colon called a polyp. Most polyps are benign or non-cancerous, especially in the beginning. However, over many years, some polyps can gradually change. Their cells start to behave abnormally, growing and dividing when they shouldn't, and slowly, that harmless growth can turn into cancer. This process doesn't happen overnight. It can take 10 years or more for a normal cell to transform into a cancerous one. That's why doctors often refer to colon cancer as a silent disease. In its early stages, it rarely causes symptoms. You won't feel pain. You might not see any bleeding. There may be no sign at all that something is changing inside. But as the cancer grows, it begins to interfere with how the colon works. You may notice subtle but persistent changes, bowel habits that suddenly shift, constipation or diarrhea that lingers, or a feeling that your bowels never completely empty. There might be blood in the stool, unexplained fatigue, or weight loss that seems to happen for no reason. These are warning signs that should never be ignored. Several factors can make colon cancer more likely: getting older, eating a low-fiber, high-fat diet, lack of exercise, obesity, smoking, and heavy alcohol use. Family history and certain genetic conditions also increase the risk. But here's the hopeful part. Colon cancer is one of the few cancers we can often prevent before it even starts, because those early polyps can be detected and removed during a colonoscopy. Screening allows doctors to find changes while they're still small and harmless, long before they become a threat to your life. So while colon cancer may begin silently, early detection gives you the power to stop it before it ever has a chance to grow. 3. What happens in diabetes now? Let's talk about diabetes, a condition that changes the way your body uses sugar or glucose for energy. Glucose is the body's main source of fuel. Every cell in your brain, muscles, and organs depends on it to function properly. Normally, the hormone insulin, made by the pancreas, acts like a key. It unlocks your cells so that glucose can move from the bloodstream into the cells, where it's used for energy. But in diabetes, that system doesn't work the way it should. In type 2 diabetes, which is especially common in adults over 60, the body either becomes resistant to insulin or doesn't make enough of it. As a result, glucose can't enter the cells efficiently. It starts to build up in the blood. That means your cells are starved for energy, while your bloodstream becomes overloaded with sugar. Over time, high blood sugar acts like a slow-burning fire inside the body. It damages blood vessels, triggers chronic inflammation, and puts stress on vital organs like the heart, kidneys, eyes, and nerves. But here's something many people overlook. That same inflammation and stress also affect your colon. The colon's inner lining is made up of cells that renew themselves constantly. When the body is in a state of chronic inflammation and insulin resistance, these cells become more vulnerable to damage. That environment makes it easier for abnormal cells to form and grow, which is often the first step toward cancer. There's another layer to this story. People with diabetes tend to have higher levels of insulin and insulin-like growth factors circulating in their blood. These substances encourage cells to divide and grow. In small amounts, that's normal. It's how the body repairs itself. But when those levels stay high for long periods, they can unintentionally promote the growth of cells that shouldn't multiply, including potential cancer cells in the colon. So when you think about it, diabetes doesn't just raise your blood sugar. It creates a biological environment where inflammation, insulin resistance, and excess growth signals quietly work together, setting the stage for colon cancer to take hold over time. 4. The link between diabetes and colon cancer. So now that we've talked about what happens in diabetes and in colon cancer, let's connect the dots. How exactly are these two conditions linked? Scientists have studied this connection for many years, and the evidence keeps growing stronger. People with type 2 diabetes are about 30 to 40% more likely to develop colon cancer than those without diabetes. And this isn't just coincidence. It's driven by real biological changes happening inside the body. One of the main culprits is chronic inflammation. When blood sugar stays high for long periods, the body responds with low-level inflammation throughout the tissues. This constant irritation can damage DNA and weaken the body's ability to repair itself, allowing abnormal cells to grow unchecked in the colon. Another key factor is insulin resistance. When the body becomes resistant to insulin, the pancreas releases even more of it to keep blood sugar under control. But high levels of insulin and insulin-like growth factors can act like a growth signal, encouraging cells to multiply faster than they should. That's exactly what cancer cells love. Then there's oxidative stress, caused by an imbalance between harmful free radicals and the body's ability to neutralize them. This can harm healthy colon cells and make them more likely to turn cancerous over time. Finally, lifestyle habits common among people with diabetes, such as low fiber intake, being overweight, and lack of physical activity, can add even more risk. Each of these factors alone can strain the colon, but together they create what we might call a double risk environment. The good news is that understanding this connection gives us power, because if diabetes and colon cancer share the same risk pathways, then controlling one can help protect against the other. 5. Screening and early detection. When it comes to colon cancer, one of the most powerful tools we have isn't medicine, it's early detection. Because here's the truth. Colon cancer doesn't develop overnight. It grows slowly, often over many years, starting from small, harmless polyps. And if we catch those polyps early, we can remove them before they ever turn into cancer. That's what makes screening so important. A simple colonoscopy can literally save lives. It allows doctors to see the entire colon, find polyps, and remove them during the same procedure. For most adults, screening should begin at age 45 and continue every 10 years if results are normal. But if you have diabetes, a family history of colon cancer, or other risk factors, your doctor may recommend starting earlier or screening more often. Some people hesitate because they're worried about discomfort or preparation, but colonoscopy is a safe, routine procedure that millions of people undergo every year, and the peace of mind it gives is worth it. It's not just about finding cancer, it's about preventing it. If you prefer a non-invasive option, there are stool-based tests that can be done at home. These tests look for hidden blood or DNA changes that may signal a problem in the colon. They're simple, private, and can be an excellent first step for people who are not ready for a colonoscopy yet. The key message is this: don't delay screening, especially if you have diabetes. People with diabetes already carry a higher risk, and catching changes early can make all the difference. Early detection saves lives. It's one of the most effective forms of cancer prevention we have. 6. Lifestyle protection. Let's talk about one of the most powerful forms of protection you have: your lifestyle. The choices you make every day can either raise or lower your risk of both diabetes complications and colon cancer. And the best part, you don't need to make drastic changes overnight. Small, steady habits can lead to big results. First, focus on your diet. Aim for meals rich in fiber, fruits, vegetables, and whole grains. Think of fiber as your body's natural cleanser. It keeps your digestive system running smoothly and helps control blood sugar levels. Try to fill half your plate with colorful vegetables, add beans or lentils a few times a week, and choose whole grain bread or brown rice instead of refined grains. At the same time, limit red meat, processed foods, and sugary beverages. Too much red or processed meat can increase the risk of colon cancer, while sugary drinks and snacks cause sharp spikes in blood sugar and inflammation. Swap soda for water or sparkling water with lemon. Choose baked or grilled foods instead of fried. Your body will thank you for it. Next, make exercise part of your routine. Aim for at least 30 minutes of activity most days. Walking, swimming, cycling, or even gardening all count. Movement improves insulin sensitivity, helps control weight, and keeps the colon active and healthy. Speaking of weight, maintain a healthy body weight. Extra body fat, especially around the waist, increases inflammation and hormone levels that promote both diabetes and cancer growth. Even losing a small amount, 5 to 10% of your weight, can make a measurable difference. And finally, avoid smoking and limit alcohol. Both weaken your body's natural defenses and damage colon cells over time. If you smoke, talk to your doctor about ways to quit. It's never too late to start healing. Your lifestyle is your strongest medicine. Every healthy meal, every walk, every good night's sleep adds up to powerful protection, not just against disease, but for a longer, more vibrant life. 7. Closing message. Before we wrap up, let's take a moment to recap everything we've discussed today. Diabetes doesn't just affect your blood sugar, it can also increase your risk of colon cancer. But here's the empowering truth. Prevention and early detection truly work. With the right awareness and proactive steps, you can significantly reduce your risk and protect your health. You have more control than you might think. Through a healthy lifestyle, eating more fiber, enjoying a variety of fruits, vegetables, and whole grains, staying active, maintaining a healthy weight, and keeping up with regular checkups, you can shield yourself from both diabetes complications and colon cancer. Small, consistent habits make a big difference over time, and they're never too late to start. When it comes to screening, don't put it off. A colonoscopy or even a simple stool-based test can detect problems early when they're easiest to treat. And early detection often saves lives. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe for more doctor-led health education. Together, we can spread awareness, inspire change, and help more people live longer, healthier, and more fulfilling lives. Remember, this isn't about fear, it's about empowerment. Your health is in your hands, and every choice you make matters. No matter your age, no matter where you are on your journey, you can protect your health and improve your future. Your health is worth it, and the actions you take today truly matter for tomorrow.